Hey Tyler, how are you?
How are you?
I'm super good. Thank you for being here and on time. I will I'm sure I know we have some other people coming. Let me ask real quick while we're waiting for
Yeah.
them. You said you had picked up three people at the meeting and yet they're not registered. Do you have forms you want us to process?
I do not have their forms yet. They are on our ALC, so I will actually be meeting with them here. I believe it's Thursday. I see them again.
Okay, so they didn't actually fill out the form.
No.
They said they were going to sign up. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let us know if you need any help with those. Anytime I'll probably repeat this in a little bit, so sorry in advance. Anytime I don't know, I know you've launched, well, I know you've been involved in Bolt before. I know this is your first like solo launch. I Best practice is when you have someone that says they're ready, and I know you were in a meeting and like whatever, like somebody stops you and like, hey, I'm gonna go, like get them registered on the spot because were you an agent before you took this role?
Very briefly. Very, very briefly.
Okay, cool. So take no offense because I've been an agent for 17 years and I'm calling myself out too. Agents are the worst about stuff like that. Just about follow through, right? And so if you make it easy and just grab their credit card and do it or hand them a form and take it, and anytime you get a paper form, you can send those to Trish all day long, who is the Alyssa email, my assistant. She'll process them, no biggie. It's just you'll always win when you get them on the spot. So just a little tip, like I'm telling you, you'll get like 10 extra registrations because you did that. um, hey, Monica, how are you?
I'm good. And Noreen is here with me too.
Hey,
Let me stop
Noreen.
this virtual background so you guys can actually see
I
her
mean,
too.
it's a pretty sweet background, and yet it would be cool to see her.
It is. It
If
is.
only.
It's making me want to pack up right now and go be Christmassy. Awesome. Noreen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm super good. Share with me your role because we haven't met yet.
MCA.
Awesome. We love our MCAs. They pay us. We like you.
We do.
Very, very cool. Tyler, do you know, is anyone else from your office joining us?
Tina's in here. She's just off camera.
Oh, hi off camera, Tina. How
Our
are you?
camera doesn't turn that far.
That's okay. I can't see any faces that you make at me, so this is perfect. Um, so first thing, and I'll always do this. Mondays are Zoomapalooza for you guys, unless the leadership role has completely changed, and I know that. So like, I intend for this one to be helpful and all, and yet let's get a break from it. So, who has anything good to start us off with from the last week? I don't care if it's something from your business, your market center, or you're on the personal side. Who has had something great happen in the last week? I'd love to start off with some happy.
We've onboarded 3 people, 5 more in the pipeline for this week. So that's a good thing.
That's a great week. I love it.
Monica,
Anything
what's
from
up?
our Kingwood?
I had a pretty trying week last week, but
You
I came
did?
back today.
I
So
Just keep coming back. Just
Yep.
keep coming back.
Keep showing
look.
up. Punishment.
It's I know I've said this already to you guys, and I'm gonna say it again because I learn a lot of things through Bold, and I know that we don't always retain everything we hear. I'm your partner in all things. So you have an extra maps coach for the next few months. Like the next time things get fascinating, especially if it's with a capital F, if you would like to chat about it, I'm here. And whether that's from a, hey, could you be my therapist for a minute? Or if you want ideas or tactics, I am a former team leader. I've done the job. I know it's crazy. I know agents are a little bit wild and sometimes aren't that nice. So please utilize me. Like I'm here. Use me, abuse me. It's what I am here for. All right. So that goes for any and everybody. And I will always record these and I'll send out the recording and you guys lead how you choose to lead. Anytime I share an idea or a tactic, like I'm not telling you how to do your job. I'm telling you what in my experience has worked best. And I can tell you that when your entire leadership team and or staff is on board and informed with what's happening with Bold, we tend to have better launches. So feel free to share the recordings and or invite them to any of these calls. So um, my goal, my friends, is to make this an easy launch. The time of year, congratulations, you have chosen the most challenging time to launch a Bold.
thanks a lot,
Um,
Tyler.
sim- well, challenging or empowering. Like the results of it are going to be great because it is a time of year where they should be in the right environment. And at the same time, for you guys, it is the most challenging time and we're still going to be great. I don't mean to say that in a way that's it's going to be awesome. My intention is to make this easy. So I know that, well, Monica, I know you're new to the launching of the Bold. Tyler and Tina, I know you have before. I'm sure you've done great. I'm gonna give you my way, and my way is super simple. I don't think that you want 23 things to do every day, extra on top of the 78 that you have. That's not what I'm here to do. We've all kind of already spoken about the most important ways, or some of the most important things that we're gonna do, which is get on a team meeting and get in front of your ALC. I've already done that for Woodlands. Monica, I know that tomorrow I'm on your team meeting. And I know that you had a couple different ALC opportunities. When you know which one you want me at, will you please email it to me and just let me know so I can block that time? And I forget the dates you gave me. You gave me dates that I was available though. I know that much. So just let me know which one that you want me to do. And if for some reason they don't work, let me know if you want me to just get you a video that you can send out to them. Just let me know on that. So we've kind of already gone down that road. I will tell you, any other team meetings between now and launch, if you'd like me to jump on, and it can be super quick and brief, I can bring some type of learning moment. I'm happy to do more of them. And that's up to you guys and how packed your meetings are. If you need somebody in a pinch, call me. I did want to ask, have you guys figured out or gotten any closer on venue? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, so I've made a couple calls, but like the end of last week was extremely challenging. And so
Yes, I
I'm
gotcha.
that is first priority tomorrow to follow up phone calls. So
Okay,
I
perfect.
am
All right.
working on it and I will get it done quickly.
Okay, and then I think when I was in your meeting, Tyler and Tina, I think you mentioned a potential third market center. Do we know if there's any other market centers joining us, or is it just going to be these two?
Baytown has reached out and they have a couple of agents that they're just going to join us in it. They're going to pop in, but the official market center isn't going to be a part of it as a full.
Okay, and that's cool. Would you do me a favor whenever you get 10 seconds? Will you just connect me with whoever your leadership contact is there? I won't pester them. I'd love to at least get them some information. So if they want to like put a slide in their meeting or anything like that, like I'm not going to be high pressure on them if they don't want all in. And yet, we should help as many agents as we can. So that's that. And by the way, I'm going through some of my to-dos so I don't forget at the end. And then I'm going to give you some tactical things that I want us to do. ALC, we talked about that. And we talked about ALC. Okay, so I want to give you guys some tangible things that we can start working on now. Here's my goal from, I have the experience of being agent, leadership, and also a coach. And I want you to have a great Bold. I also want to make sure that you guys don't ruffle any feathers unintentionally. So my goal is that there is no possible way that anybody in your market center does not know that Bold is happening. Because what I've seen happen before is I've had leadership that well-intentioned and yet busy, and there's certain people that weren't reached out to, even though I sent 3,000 emails, they didn't necessarily see them because I maybe was going to their spam. And then you have agents who wanted to go to Bold, didn't know it was happening until it was halfway through, and they're not happy. So one of the best ways, and really the most important thing we can do, and everything else I tell you today is going to be more supplemental to this. Everyone on your roster gets to hear from you between now and the start of Bold. Now, here's what I don't want you hearing, that one of you from each market center is calling everybody on your roster. This is where we should be dividing and conquering and using leverage. And I suggest that you guys use a care conversation tactic. If you call and launch right into Bold, there's this really small faction of your agents who really wants to go to Bold without any pushing, and you're going to win with them. And then you got these people that would have totally gone to Bold, and yet you bolded them right out of the gate, and they went like that. So if you treat it like a care conversation, and the truth is, what a wonderful time of year to do a holiday season check-in on people. ask how their business is doing, make sure they've got goals set for next year. And I find when we work our way into the bold conversation, we can still have really quick and efficient conversations. These don't need to be hour-long consultations. And yet, when the first thing out isn't regards to bold, we can get their buy-in quicker. And I think because of the time of year, a good, and this is not a perfect script, this is more me giving you a direction with messaging. I think it's great to find out what their goals are for next year. A follow-up question might be, well, how are you closing out this year? I bet it's a way lower number, right, for most of our agents, and asking them, well, what is your plan to hit that higher number? I'm excited. I want to support you. And I think you guys, I mean, would you guys say that 80 to 90% of your agents are not going to have a solid answer to that question? Okay, that's what I thought. Great. I've got your plan. We're doing a first quarter bold. And I think when you tie it to what they want rather than, hey, we have bold coming, gotta come. I think that you're going to find that you're going to create really great conversations with your people. And when they're connected to you, they're not a flight risk. When they're floating out in the wind and you're not talking to them a lot, then they're very recruitable. So that's a great way to get them into bold. And I recommend that you guys use a red, yellow, green light system. So your rosters are probably already in spreadsheet format. And you guys decide how you're gonna divide people up. I mean, the obvious thing is TLs take the top tier and then you go on from there. And yet, what I find is that just like when we teach our agents to go up for a listing or to convert a buyer, they don't normally get their signatures at the first ask, right? It's normally a series of follow-up before they even get an appointment. And then of course they've got to work to get the guests there. You're going to get some instant yeses. We love those. Those are awesome. That's the leadership equivalent to come list me, right? You're going to get some immediate no's, and you know your people. You're like, I'm not here to ask you to ask Bob about bold 22 times in the next month when the first time he said, don't ask me again or I'm leaving the office. Like, I understand that you're going to have some people who are hard nosed and you're going to highlight them red. That's fine. The obvious yeses are greens, right? You're going to have a lot of yellow in my experience. You're going to have a lot of people who don't give you a full answer or give you a no, and you can hear in their voice or their tone or their words that it's not really a no, and they just need to chew on it a little bit. Maybe they need to hear from me. Maybe they need to hear from a different leadership member. And I find that when you guys do that, when you just break it down like that, you know exactly who's calling who. You use a color system, so you don't need to give pages of notes about each person. It's really easy to go back in, rinse and repeat, and maximize the number of agents that you have in your bold. So that is the number one way for you guys to fill the room. Like, we can send all the emails, we can post everything on social media, we can drop prizes out of the sky. The best way, that it's all supplemental to the one-to-one conversation, just like it is in their real estate business. Right? Does that all make sense? Like, are you guys on board with that? Or are you like, oh God, I'm not going to talk to my people? Like,
100%.
we're good? Okay, cool. I like you guys. You're going to be fun. A couple other things that we can do in order to really just get off to a great start. I know it's a weird time of year because I'm sure you've got some holiday things out, and yet you're not looking for any design awards in your office, I'm assuming. So if there's a little bit of clash, it's okay. 20 to 30 bucks at the dollar store of purple stuff to make it obvious that bold is coming. Really, really great idea. Just to do some basic, silly, fun decorations just to show that bold is coming. Any awareness you can create, any day that you wear a bold t-shirt, like anything you can do to make it visually obvious that bold is coming, it's really going to help, because you tell them once and it doesn't mean they're retaining the information or that they gave it serious thought. So that's an easy thing to do. Any classes or events that you have between now and bold, you don't need to do a full-on take time out of the class commercial, and yet you could have a slide and everything. Excuse me, just reminding them that bold is coming. I find that really, really helpful. Sometimes it's the 8th mention that they're going to be like, hey, I should be there. Excuse me. And Tyler, I already saw that you started doing this. FOMO is a real thing. It's a word that none of us knew until a few years ago, except it's super real. blow it up on social media. And I would say in your physical office, it's a great idea to have a wall with pictures. All you need is one little template, and then you just recreate it. Every time you get somebody signed up for Bold, tell the world about it. You know, it's one thing when me and you guys, who are all people who get paid, to tell them they should go to Bold. It's one thing when we tell them, when they see other people, and anyone who's willing to like make a quick video, share why they're going to Bold. Maybe you have some people with great Bold stories. When it's your own agents telling the story, I'm going to tell you right now, it's a much easier job. So just utilizing FOMO, it's super huge. It's super helpful. And if you can do those things, we're going to market on the back end. So we have your rosters, or, you know, Monica, did you send yours yet? I can't remember. I know we have, you
Cindy
did. And then
sent it.
Tyler. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we have both your rosters. So we've already started marketing to your agents, and yet we are also stranger danger. So if they're not hearing it from you guys as well, it's they're less likely to watch things. Monica, if you can add me to your Facebook group, you can tag me in anything and I'll jump in and make sure I comment so they know I pay attention. I will also post from time to time. I put a couple of really quick, like 30-second testimonial videos in your Facebook, Tyler, from people who just graduated out of my Bold. And they were both like really easy, like tangible. Like one agent created 28 transactions while she was with me. The other one made one phone call that she didn't want to make, and I pushed her to do it. And she's going to make over 50 grand of GCI from that phone call. Super simple, tangible, hard to argue with results. So I'll continue to put things like that out there if you put me in your Facebook group. And guess what? That's it. Like, that's our plan. We talk to all the people until we get our desired answer or make them mad, and then we leave them alone until they're not mad anymore. We blow it up on social media. We make it physically obvious at the office that Bold is coming. And I promise you, if you do that, we're going to have a great launch and we're going to pack the room. And whether you want to block a couple of afternoons and go ham on your roster, or if you just want to commit to talking to a few people a day, doesn't matter to me. And I'll say it like this, and then I'm going to ask you guys one question, and then I want to answer any questions. What I never expect Bold to be your number one thing. You have way too many other things going on. I never expect it. If I ever come across that way, you can tell me and I will back my butt down. Like, that is not what I expect. And for us to have a great launch and get you the results that you like, Bold does really need to be in your top 5 between now and launch. And then you're good. And then I'll give you back your other number 5 thing that was in there before. If you can make Bold in your top 5 for the next, what do we have, like 6 weeks, we're going to have a great launch. We're going to hit any goal that you give me. If it's not, if days go by where you don't do anything, I just find it, no matter how much massive action you put behind that, the results will suffer. That's just my experience. So last thing I want to do before I let you guys talk as much as you want is I do want to get goals for each of you. I know that you guys, Tyler and Tina, when you submitted, I know you put a goal of 50. I'm asking both market centers here for a between us goal. In other words, I'm not telling Maps and you're not getting in trouble if we don't hit it. And yet I want to know what number of agents in full Bold would make you thrilled and feel like you crushed it and would affect your bottom line. So from each market center, I want a number and I have no judgment on it.
What's our number? If we could have 50 agents full Bold from just
50 just from you guys. Perfect. Okay, Kingwood, what about you?
All right. I mean, honestly, I think if we can get 30 full Bold, that would be amazing. My OP tells me I have made a dangerous decision and that our agents will not travel. So I'd like to prove him wrong.
Well, and we're also talking about getting a venue that's in a spot that isn't necessarily going to be tons of travel, right?
Right. In the middle. Yeah. Between us.
Here's what I want to empower you with. And honestly, this goes to both market centers because wherever it is, I'm sure that some of the Woodlands agents are going to say the same thing. Well, I don't want to go there. That's too far. Wherever this venue is, here's what I know. It's an amount of time that any of them would drive for one listing appointment. Period. You know that, right? I mean, there might be a couple of exceptions to the rule if you have a farming agent that never leaves their neighborhood. That's they would go there for a list. They would drive that amount of time for a listing appointment. Okay, well, the average number of deals people are getting in bold, current numbers still, by the way, like including the market, is 11 units. So what I want to do is I want to empower you guys not to be rude or talk down to your agents. Don't be afraid to call them out on limiting beliefs that are holding them back. I don't want to make the drive is silly. And I wouldn't have you say it that way to them unless you had that. This is just between us. Like, it's silly. It's a silly reason. I don't have the money is borderline a silly reason, simply because, because that's a cycle. Like, what could we do? Who could you ask? What, how many Starbucks could you skip? Like, what can we do to allow you to find the money? So stuff like that. So I totally, like, we're going to get you your 30 and you're going to totally rub it in your OP's face. And I'm so excited. And he'll see this recording, so he's going to be ready for
No,
it.
I don't need to do that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I want you to prove to yourself that you can. And I really, if I could just be like superhuman real with you, like, look, I'm a licensed agent. I have a team. I do this for a living. I know what's happening right now in our industry and in the market. And whether they're telling you or not, agents are freaking out. And anyone that we put in that room, they are insulated from the crazy. They are in an environment where their mindset will be right unless they are level 10 and a half stubborn. They're in an environment that'll force them to do the activities that will make them money, regardless of the state of the market. And so that's what, like, I know it's not always easy. And so that's why we spread this out over all the days and don't just call 50 people in a day. Like, you're going to get pushback. And I'm begging you for the sake of your agents to push right back with them from love, from a place of knowing this is where they should be. So if you guys can do that, you'll be in great shape. A couple other real quick things. You are, we already talked about discounts for recruits. Monica, yes. So you get 5 of them and the other market center gets 10 only because they're considered the host market center. Now, granted, you have 15 total. So like, if we're getting close and you guys are sitting at 5, Tyler, and you're like, I don't think we have anybody else, like we can allocate them however you want. Just how it currently sits is 10 and 5. It's $199 for full bold for your recruits. And it's
people, Monica, just let us know and we can just reallocate them. It's no big deal.
And it's anyone not with KW. Here's something really important. So listen. The minute they join KW, Maps is going to boot them out of the system. So like what I've had happen before is you've got a recruit that says they're signing on and you want to get them on at the discounted rate to entice them or something like that. We have got to process that registration before they sign their paperwork, because if Maps sees the day that they are in, once their white pages show up, and they will cancel the registration. It's very annoying. I'm not in charge of it. So just make sure anybody that you want in, if you know they're going to join you, let's get them registered before they join you. I don't believe the codes are out yet, and yet they should be out within the next few days. Leadership codes will come out at the same time. Anyone on leadership can go for $399 as opposed to the $799. Okay, so there's that as well. And really, guys, we're seeing an 80% conversion rate from agents, non-KW, that come to Bold. And that's at all production levels. So whether you want to use it on a struggling agent or like a big old producer, you got to remember, like, if they're at another company, they've never done anything like this, is the chance. And even if they're a high producer, they will be wowed by the experience. So use those codes. Like I would love to see, I never have market centers use them all up. I want you to have 15 people in there. It'll be wild. It'll be great. Your OPs will love you. All right. And then you guys can decide, like, we don't care who pays for it. So some market centers will pay if it's a producer and they want to throw that in there, or we can ask them to pay. Either way, it's $199. And if they're paying, they should for sure know that they're getting a heavy discount, and you can call it a gift. What questions do you have for me? There are no bad questions. There are no dumb questions. I am your resource.
This is Gina. Do you have a graphic that has all the bold performances, maybe from last year, or the trend of what happens if you go through bold? Because those metrics could be a really good thing for, especially for Monica, who's really never been through a bold launch, to be able to say, hey, this is what agents did going through the new and improved bold. This is the potential that you have in, getting out, coming to the class. Do you guys have anything
So
like that?
in a perfect world, I would say yes. We used to have stuff like that, and we've had a lot of leadership changes, and somewhere along the way, we stopped getting things like that. I will ask to see if they have anything that's coming out. What I can tell you is we have a lot of other stuff though. And what I will do is, it may have been in the initial email from my assistant, and yet, did you guys, you may have gotten an email that had a toolkit for launch. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Yes. Monica, if it doesn't sound familiar to you, I'm just going to ask Trish to resend it. I got no judgment. All right. So I'm going to make myself a note, or I'll make myself a boat too. All right. So it'll be a link to it's a Google system. There's a ton of resources in there, including marketing material. And I can't say this enough, and I don't mean to babysit the idea. None of it matters if we don't have direct conversations with our people. That's for sure. And all that stuff is great. And Monica, if you want to have any separate conversation, like, I'm a walking bold encyclopedia. I might not have a graphic for you. I live bold. I took it 15 times before I became an agent. I've got your back. Anything you guys need from me, or if you need something tangible, I got tons of testimonials, stuff like that. I can help you with stuff like that. Exactly what you asked for, Tina, we do not no longer have, and I'm trusting that they're going to fix it, because we've all kind of been whining about it.
Hudson, I just
Just
checked my
asking.
email and I got the
Yeah.
toolkit 15
You
minutes
got it.
ago.
Perfect. Well, look at that. That's perfect. All right. Any other questions or anything else that you guys need?
Not yet.
Okay. So congratulations that it's a new week, Monica. Let me know what you find out venue-wise. It is one of the #1 silly objections you're going to get. Well, I need to know where it is first, which is so silly, because if they're not on track to hit goals, they should just be in bold no matter where it is, and it's fine. So keep us posted on that. No stress. It's important. Use me as a resource. If there's, the daily emails are going to come out letting you know where you're at as far as registrations, things like that. If there's anybody else that you want on those distribution lists, or if you want them on the invite for these Zooms, please just email my assistant's email. She'll add anybody to the rotation that you guys want. And otherwise, we will do our thing on our end. We do a lot of email marketing. I will also do a few texts. I do less of the text because that's a quicker thing that people opt out of, so I don't want to annoy them. So I'll probably do one before the holidays and then 1 or 2 after the holidays to catch people that way. And otherwise, I am your resource. I am your friend. I am your partner, and I am your coach. Anything you need from me, all you need to do is reach out and I will be on it. And then I will be on your meeting tomorrow. Monica, how long do you want me to go for? No right or wrong.
I think when we spoke, you'd said you usually do about 30 minutes or less.
Okay, do you have that much time for me?
Yeah, I mean, I allocated it for you because that's what you said.
That's sweet. Well, a lot of times I don't get as much time. Okay, I will come ready to teach them before I talk about bold, and then I'll talk about bold, and then we'll sign up a bunch of people on the spot, and it'll be glorious.
Yeah. I try to follow instructions.
Well, it sounds like you're not trying and you're just doing, so I'm super into it. Yeah. What's that, Tyler?
She was a lot nicer than us, Monica. We told him, you got 5 minutes because we got a lot to get through today.
Look, it's all good. I know, well, you have another one before. Like I said, if you want me on the next meeting, I can do something different. Just keep me posted. And I'm happy to jump into as long as I'm available. I will also tell you this before I let you guys go. This is our longest travel break as bold coaches. We're done. My October bolds are graduated. And I have one trip between Christmas and New Year's. Other than that, I'm around. If you have a class that's going to be well attended and you wanted me to zoom in on that or create a video or something, I will be in their face as much as you allow me to be. So please just let me know. Don't be afraid to ask. Okay.
Thanks.
Awesome.
So
I
much.
appreciate you. I will send out this recording so you can share it with anyone you like. Have a beautiful day, and I'll touch you soon.
All right. Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye, friends. Bye, Tina's hand.